Hey guys, welcome back to Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with the Boston Bruins. And as you can see, it has not been a good start to the season. 13, 18, and 5. We currently sit in 11th place with a ton of games in hand on pretty much every single team. It has been pretty much a disaster this season. If we look at our stats, offensively, things aren't terrible. Pasternak averaging a point a game, Wahlstrom almost a point a game, Newhook and Couturier doing okay. Dylan Guenther's having a pretty nice season, but other than that, it's just been bad. And goaltender-wise, it's gotten even worse. You can see Ferguson, 19 games, he's 7-10-2 with a 3.59 goals against and an 893 save percentage. Sweyman, 6-8-3 with a 3.16 and an 898. I'm actually going to start Petrocelli here in a couple of games to see how he does, see if maybe we can catch some fire there. But I wonder if this is just a function of our goaltending being really bad. Sweyman has dropped down to 2.5 stars. And he's gotten worse every year he's played. So not sure what the problem is there. But with our defense, it shouldn't be the way it is. We've got multiple 3.5-star defensemen in Fox, Bean, 4-star in McAvoy, 3-star in Vakanainen, potential 5-star in Luke Hughes, who's, granted he's only 22, but it just hasn't been good. It has not been a good season at all. If you look at standings, see we're 4th in the East, or in the Atlantic rather, but again, we're 6 points behind Tampa. They have 2 games in hand. We're 17 points behind Ottawa. We're a point ahead of Toronto, Detroit, and Buffalo, but they all have 3 to 4 games in hand on us. So in reality, the only team that's really playing any worse than us in the Atlantic right now are the Canadiens. Offensively, Patrick Laine, Draisaitl, DeBrincat, Lucius, and Connor, top 5 in points. Pasternak and Wahlstrom are in the top 5 in goal scorers, and Newhook is 9th in assists, but goaltending is just a different story. We're going to have to figure out our goaltending. Unfortunately, there's nobody on the trade block, at least nobody of real substance, and even upcoming free agents. That list isn't all that great either. There are a couple of decent goaltenders on here. Jesper Wallstedt, but I'm kind of hesitant on going after a young goaltender right now with the issues we've had. Ian Scott's a potential free agent, but he hasn't been very good. Old friend Mackenzie Blackwood is on there. He's not playing well. Yeah, so I don't know what we're going to do. We may have to bite the bullet and see if we can trade for a goaltender. So it's been bad. And this is, I think, going to be a relatively short episode. I'll probably sim ahead to January. Since the season's not going particularly well, I don't see a whole lot of need to dive deep into the roster. We'll play another month. I'll sim another month here offline, see where we stand come January, and if things aren't any better come January, some of these veterans might be on the move. And not that we have a ton of veterans here to trade, but we may look at some of our underperforming players, I guess is probably the better way of looking at it. Players like Vakanainen, Sweyman. I don't really want to move on from any of my forwards. Maybe Yost. I'm not really sure. So we've got some players that could potentially bring us some picks. We do have Seattle's first round pick this year, and they are slipping in the standings as well. They're 14, 13, and 4. So hopefully they drop out of the postseason out west. And that's really where we are for now. So, yeah. If there's anything you guys want me to take a look at, let me know. Obviously, I can't do anything about it this episode, but I'm going to keep simming here. We're going to get to the end of January, and we'll see where things stand then, and hopefully we will have made a run here. If we don't make a run, January could be a month of retooling for next season. So I'll be back in a sec. All right, we're back on January 1st, and it's gotten a little better, but not really that much better, if that makes sense. We're 21, 23, and 5. We're 10th in the East, but again, still, we've got the team that's in 11th has got 4 games in hand. Sabres are 1 point behind us, have 3 games in hand, so I just don't think this is our season. Development report, Beecher, Newhook, Petruzzelli, who's actually, look at that, played pretty well, 2.77 and a 9.10. Ryman, Vakanainen, and Wahlstrom all got better. Anything else in here for us? We didn't win any of the player polls. And that's about it. And it looks like Jake Gensel, 3 goals and an assist. Pasta had 3 goals and an assist in a game earlier that month. Yeah, I mean, it's just been a season. It's just been a season that hasn't been good. So if we go back and we look at our stats a month later, Pastrnak is having a nice season, breaking the 30-goal mark in just 44 games. Wahlstrom is having again, the offense hasn't been the problem this year. It's been the defense and the goaltending. You can see Newhook's at almost a point a game. Jake Beans scored 32 points in 49 games. Gunther's played well. Eklund is continuing to struggle, but again, he's only 23, so I'm hesitant to move on from him. We got Vakanainen on the trade block, and he's like the only player on our team who's a plus-minus player. Sweyman and Yost are both on the trade block as well. No offers for either of them yet. I think Beecher is pretty much what he is at this point. He's never going to score more than a few goals a season, unfortunately. His high is 7. He had 1 in 82 games that last year and 2 in 49 this year. So two-way forward, my behind. So yeah, I think we're at a point where it's time to become sellers, and even Seattle has gotten a little better, which is a little frustrating. So let's start to offer some players up and see what we can get. So we'll start with Yost. Or is it Jost? I don't know if it's Jost or Yost. I've always just called him Yost. Let's shop him. Let's see what kind of offers we can get. Second round pick from Seattle. Curtis Hall, who's a former Bruin. I wouldn't mind a second round pick for him. Second round pick from San Jose. A lot of veterans that I have no interest in. John Tavares. Okay, no, I'm good. Yeah. Let's give our second round pick let's get a second round pick from Seattle for Tyson Yost. I'm okay with that, I guess. All right, so let's go back to the roster. And let's see, we got to fill that spot somewhere. Yeah, we sent Cole Miller down just for a change because I didn't want to send Ryman down. 2.5 star, 3.5 star. I didn't feel right sending him down, so I sent Miller down instead. So we'll have to put him back on the roster. Anybody have any interest in Jeremy Sweyman? Let's see. Cruz Lucius and Tyler, so a couple of 1.5 star players. Nope, no interest there. Vakanainen. Fourth round pick from Seattle. Akurati. He's a 2-star. No thank you. Cade Weber. 2.5 star. Yeah, it looks like that's what I can expect to get. 2.5 star player in return. I might just wait and see if I can get an offer made to me. Because generally speaking, when a team comes to you with an offer, they're going to give you a better package than if you offer them out like this. At least that's been my experience with FHM. Some of the best deals I've ever made have been when the AI has come to me and said, hey, we'll give you this player for this player. Let's look at the trade block. Quinn Hughes. DeBrincat is on the trade block. He's been one of the best players in the NHL for the last few years. No goaltenders. No goaltenders. I was hoping maybe there would be something. Let's filter. Sweyman's literally the only one on the trade block who's a goalie. DeBrincat signed to an 8-year contract. That is a long deal. Brandstrom, offensive-minded defenseman. Quinn, offensive-minded defenseman. I mean, we're not doing this to shed contract. I mean, you see we had plenty of money under the cap. If you look at our homepage, we've got $30 million for free agents, $41 million for extensions. So we have plenty of money. So I don't want to move Vakanainen just to get rid of the contract. But if we can get value someplace else, that's something I'd be interested in. But one thing I do want to look at is players whose contracts are up. Yeah. So we got a few names here we need to deal with. We're going to have to move Sweyman because we're not going to re-sign him. But let's look at Petroselli. That's a fine contract, 1.18. That's good. Joakim Kamel, he's got a career-high 10 goals this season. He wants 3.3 for 4. I'm okay with that. Kristall, Gunther, and Wahlstrom. Yeah, we got to bring all of them back. So Wahlstrom wants 5-1 for 3. I'm okay with that. Gunther, 31 points in 49 games. He's having his best offensive season of his career, and he's only age 22. He wants... okay. All right, I don't want to lose him, so we'll sign him, and then Kristall. And he's only 20, but that seems fairly reasonable for a 20-year-old. We can lock him up long-term, and that pretty much is everyone, right? Wahlstrom, Gunther, Kristall, Kamel. Yeah, that's pretty much everyone. We are going to have to figure out a way to move Sweyman. I don't think anybody's going to be interested in Palmieri, but we'll see. Let's sim ahead a day. All right, let's see what we can get for... I don't think anybody's going to be interested in Palmieri, but we will offer him up and see if we get any bites. Oh, wow. 5th round pick, 5th round pick, 5th round pick. Fine. So Seattle, Colorado, New York, and Pittsburgh. Which of those teams is the worst? Pittsburgh, New York, Colorado, Seattle. Colorado, Seattle, Pittsburgh, and the Islanders. So 58, 59, 49, 54. So again, it's the Kraken. So let's continue to make deals with the Kraken. Let's go ahead and move on from Kyle Palmieri. So we're going to have to reset our lines here, and we're likely going to have to call somebody up from Providence, but who that's going to be, I don't really know. Ozzy Wiesblatt, I guess. 2-star, 3-star. Sure, Ozzy, you get to come on up. All right, so we're going to have to reset the lines here a little bit, so let's dress him. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got to dress all of them because we don't have any backup forwards. All right, so let's move Ryman up, move Eklund up. Make Miller the 4th line center, and then we're missing Wiesblatt there. And then our fifth shootout candidate, we got Pasternak, Newhook, Wahlstrom, Couturier, and Ryman. We're going to put Ryman out there. Power play, second line power play center has got to be Ryman. Oh, we had him on the point. Okay, that's fine. Gunther, no. These guys are all Kamel. The Dangler. Wahlstrom and Ryman. And Kamel. All right. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so we signed all of our players. So Cristal, Kamel, Gunther, Wahlstrom, and Petruzzelli all signed. That's great. We were 8-4 last month. Certainly doesn't feel like it, but that's good for us, I guess. Blackhawks and Coyotes, Brett Pesce for Nick Schmalz. All right, so let's sim ahead. So we'll probably just go to the end of February, and then next episode we'll do trade deadline up through the end of the regular season. So I'm going to go ahead and sim another month, and we'll be back February 1st. And if we've made some deals or a deal or no deals, we'll come back and we'll review the team. We'll review the roster, where we stand. We'll look at league stats, team stats, et cetera, and we'll call it a fairly short and quick episode. So I'll be back in a minute. We are back on February 1st, and what a turnaround it has been for the Bruins in January rather. We are up to 9th. We still have a couple games in hand on most teams, but oops, sorry, banged my phone against something. But we played really, really well, and we got ourselves right back into it here. We are a point behind Buffalo. Of course, they've got 3 games in hand, but we're a point behind Buffalo for 8th. We're only 4 points out of 6th, only 5 points out of 5th. So, things were quite a bit better that month. Let's take a look at offensively first. Actually, let's look at goaltending first, because that's really where the biggest change has been. Keith Petruzzelli has come in, played 14 games. He's gone 10-4 with a 2.11 goals against and a 925 save percentage. So that right there is the primary reason for our improvement, and we're going to switch this, and we're not going to go with the backup very often. Petruzzelli has just played that well for us so far. Ferguson has continued to be terrible, 3.53 goals against. In fact, I think we're going to bench him and get Sweyman in there as the backup. Not that it matters. We're going to ride Petruzzelli into the ground here to try to make the playoffs. But, Keith Petruzzelli, who we picked up off waivers, has been fantastic for us so far this season. Offensively, David Pasternak with 40 goals now in 56 games, 69 points in 56 games. Couturier's been red hot. He's up to 55 and 50. Newhook's up to 50 and 61. Wahlstrom's a goal away from 30. Second line, Wahlstrom, Gunther, and we put Ryman on that second line. He's at 14 points in 33 games in his rookie season. Kamel having a nice breakout season here at age 21, on pace for 20 goals this season. The plus minuses are starting to come around a little bit. Still have some bad numbers, specifically McAvoy and Hughes, but everybody else is starting to come along a little bit. So things are finally rounding into shape here for us, and we've got plenty of time to get back into it. We had a trade offer that we made with Edmonton. They don't like it. We're going to send them Nathan Drapeau, Alexis Dontsov, and Jeremy Sweyman for Raphael Lavoie. He is on the trade block. I'm going to continue to try to push that. I think I'd rather pick up a goalie, so I'm going to continue. I think I'll probably wait and see if we have a goalie who shows up on the trade block and then make a move there. Let's see. Development report. some basic improvement. Couturier got worse. That's a little concern. He's down to 3 stars. That's not good considering he's only signed for 3 more years, but $9 million a year for each of those years. So yeah, standings wise, we're 4th in the conference, or in the division, 9th in the conference. Scoring wise, Nathan MacKinnon, Chaz Lucius, Jack Eichel, Pasternak is 4th, DeBrincat is 5th. Pasternak leads the NHL in goals with 40 goals in 56 games. DeBrincat, McKinnon, Laine, and Connor round out the top 5. Eichel, Roman Josi, Draisaitl, Stamkos, and Quinn Hughes are your top 5 in assists. There's Couturier at 7. Keith Petruzzelli leads the NHL in goals against at 2.11. He's 2nd in the NHL in save percentage behind Matt Murray. And then Carter Hart leads the NHL in wins. If we look at... Just quickly take a look at league leaders. We talked about Pasternak, Eichel, McKinnon. DeBrincat leads in shots. Gavrikov is a plus 42 for the Blues. Connor Bedard, 2 shorthanded goals. Pasternak leads the NHL in power play goals. Josh Anderson, 82 penalty minutes. Jack Eichel, 2nd in the NHL in penalty minutes. Esa Lindell leads in block shots. And Logan Stankoven tops in faceoff percentage. Goalie leaders. Hart leads in wins. Allenfelt leads in losses for Tampa with 19 goals against. Klang is that's a rough name for a goalie. Callie Klang has let up 133 goals. Binnington with the best goals against average. I guess that's for players who have met the minimum. I'm not sure if that other page shows everybody, but Caden Primo leads in saves. Matt Murray in save percentage. Jordan Binnington with 5 shutouts. Carter Hart's played in 46 games. So, yeah, there are your league leaders. We've signed all of the free agents that we're going to sign, so there's nothing to do there. Anything else we want to take a quick look at before we call it an episode? We go back to the stats page. Anything of real interest? And I'm really happy with the development of Oliver Wahlstrom this season. 29 goals, 19 assists, already a career high in goals, and I believe points as well. Yep, it's 48 points. Career high there. Very nice out of the 25-year-old Wahlstrom. Eklund still isn't scoring. It's starting to be a bit of a concern considering he's considered an offensive forward. But, you know, we've got enough depth offensively. Felix Ryman is a really nice two-way type player. He's a 64 rating as a 19-year-old. You like to see that. You know, but he can score too. I mean, you know, he hasn't gotten much. I mean, he's only 19, so doesn't have much of a background. But some of our young players are starting to come along here a little bit. Goldsmith, it's a plus 11 in 50 games as a 20-year-old. Kamel's 21, Eklund's 23, Gunther's 22, Newhook's 25. So some of our young players are starting to develop, and if Petruzzelli can continue to play well, catch lightning in a bottle, who knows? Who knows what will happen? But I want you guys to let me know what you think I should do in this last month. Should I look to move some assets and develop for the future, or do I try to find that goalie or you know, scoring wing or something like that to get us into the playoffs and then see what happens? So I want your help. I want your advice. You guys let me know what you want me to do. And I'll do it. So we'll talk soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Drop me a subscribe, drop me a like, algorithm, blah, 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 blah. I appreciate it. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.